Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Karen So Slowly and I'm Karen. Welcome if you're new here. Hi, hope you like what you see and consider subscribing. And a big thank you to all my new subscribers. The subscriber numbers have jumped up again and I couldn't be more pleased. Thank you so much to everybody who's subscribed and subscribed recently. It's so kind. Thank you very much. If you like what you see, give us a like. Don't forget to click that like button because I think the number of likes has something to do with the algorithms, whatever they are. But everybody says this, oh, it helps me channel get out there. And so that's what I'm saying. It helps me channel get out there, but I'm not really sure how it does that. Don't ask me. I'm not a mathematician. So what I've got for you this time is a late happy Easter. I'll put a picture in here of my Easter decorations that I've had up in my sewing room, such as they are. And I hope you all had a good Easter weekend. It's Tuesday, day after Easter Monday. And I've got a few little bits and pieces to show you. I have made a garment and we'll do that first. We'll get that out the way first. And I have some new patterns to show you that I've purchased. Well, one I've purchased, two I was given very kindly. And yeah, and I'll just do the review of the garment I've made. So the garment I made was this, and it is the Paper Theory Zadie Dress. Now, I paid £12 for this add-on pattern, and I have to say I was well annoyed at what I got. I did think there would be a little bit more to it. However, I could have hacked it, I think, if I'd put my mind to it. I know I've only done one pattern hack so far. But yeah, literally what you get is two rectangles of material, which are your sort of flappy over bits at the front. So you get this bit as a rectangle and you get that bit as a rectangle, which obviously goes underneath the front bit. So you get your right and left front bits and a great big square of material, or maybe it's a bit more of a rectangle, bit bigger bit of a material to be the back of the skirt. And you get different pocket bags, which I don't know why you get different pocket bags, because the construction apart from that is exactly the same. And I like the pockets on the Zadie. They're massive. They do go into the side seams of the trousers, and you do attach them to the waistband, but you could attach them to that waistband just as easy. Anyway, I'll show you. So I made this in that lovely blue and orange material that I got from Pound Fabrics. That was £2 a metre. So there you go. So take it back a bit. So yeah, so it's just it's the wrap over, like I say. So you get that bit, and like a standard sort of curved pocket bag. Other than the ones that are on the Zadie jumpsuit are a big square and very deep. I love them, absolutely love them. These look a little bit low, and possibly they are, I think. Although when I've put the dress on, they're not as low as that. They don't feel as low as that. I didn't do, see if I can bring it in. I didn't do the bias binding out of the same fabric. I didn't make, just because this material was a little bit springy and a little bit, yeah, excitable, shall we say. Oh yes, and I did a rolled hem. This is the first time doing a rolled hem on my new overlocker, and I'm quite pleased with the finish on that. But I like the length of these sleeves the way they are. They're obviously a grown-on sleeve, so they're not really a sleeve you add on. But I didn't want to take anything off them because I thought it would make them too short. So even the tiny little hem that you're supposed to turn up, I didn't want to do that. I wanted a bit of a cap sleeve almost. So I thought, well, I'll just roll hem the edges. So I like the way that's turned out. And as I say, I didn't do the bias binding. You're supposed to make strips and make your own bias binding out of the same material, which I did on my 3 Zadie jumpsuits. I did do that. And I remember the first one, which is a similar sort of fabric. Yeah, it was difficult. It wouldn't iron into the shape of bias binding. I couldn't get the creases in it. It just sprang up. And that was the same with this. I mean, if you don't want it to crease, it creases. But if you want to iron it and you want to iron a crease in it, no, it doesn't want to play games at all. Plus, I was a little bit resistant about putting a hot iron on it. So I had some bias binding. I'll just pull that tie out there. Just in my stash, which was this lovely turquoise colour, which I thought matched the turquoise on here. So I basically decided to do that. So there you go, the Zadie dress. I'll take a picture, and I'm always saying this on, I'll take a picture of me wearing it and I'll put it in, and I never do. Because it's basically getting somebody in the house to take a photograph full length of me. And I do prefer if my son does it, because he's, yeah, my husband just tends to laugh. Take the mick. So, yeah. So, there you go. Let me know what you think. I'm very pleased with it, but I just want to make summer stuff now. I don't know about anybody else. I'm past making winter stuff, which is unfortunate because I've still got that lovely boiled wool sitting there. But yeah. I'm really chuffed with this. Let me see, what else have I got to show you. So I established when I made what was it I made, the thing with all the gathering, oh, the Indigo. When I made the Indigo, I established I didn't like gathering, and I haven't got a gathering foot for my new faff machine. It may be something I might purchase because I dislike gathering so much. So I did, a few of my subscribers had mentioned, it said, if you go online and put gathering with elastic, and there was one of the channels had showed gathering with clear elastic, and another channel had showed gathering with normal elastic, but then taking it out. So when you stitch it in, you stitch it with a zigzag stitch, but you have your setting quite high. And I think, as I told you before, I couldn't fathom out the zigzag stitch on my machine, which I have done now. I've figured it out, and I did it this way. But you're supposed to, as you stitch it down, and then you stretch the elastic to meet the material, and you've measured the material, you've measured the elastic you need, and you put marker pins where each mark on your elastic is meant to meet the next marker pin, so that you know that that much elastic has got to stretch into that much fabric to get the gathers exactly right. And yeah, that's all well and good, but what do you do when you get to the end? When you get to the end and you've got a tiny bit of elastic and your fingers are going towards the needle, and they don't show this on any of the vlogs I watched, you've got to let go of the elastic. You kind of just keep going until you touch the foot or go under the needle yourself. So yeah, I found that a bit tricky. And I also purchased some clear elastic. It's difficult to show you because it's clear, but that's as much as it stretches. So I think I've purchased the only, well, apart from that one, which was a thinner clear elastic, I've purchased the only elastic on the internet that doesn't stretch. It's not elastic. It's supposed to be. There is one of the vlogs that says work the elastic. Well, I'm sorry. I can sit and work that elastic. It's not getting, it's probably got about a 10% stretch in it. So yeah, another fail. It might do for a little bit of gathering, or it might do for like a shoulder where you've got to have ruching or something like that, but not for what I wanted it for. So I ended up going back to the good old-fashioned white elastic, and probably my fault that I used this size, and if I'd used the thicker one I probably would have been a bit braver to hang on to it, or I could have made the end bit a bit longer and had something definite to hang on to if I'd used thicker elastic, so that I could have just cut it off at the end of the fabric. That's a good idea actually for next time. That's what I think I might do. Like I say, I didn't see anybody do that in the vlogs I watched. I've probably missed one somewhere. The ones I watched were really good and explained everything really well. But they just showed you people doing the stitches, doing the zigzag stitch and feeding them through and getting the markers right. And then showing you the finished product. They didn't actually show you how they did the end bit. Because if you've got a back tack as well. So I think if you did an extra long bit of elastic at the end, just so you've got something to hang on to, again, because my fingers are rubbish at hanging on to things. If it was the thicker elastic, like the, say, 1/2 inch elastic or centimetre wide elastic, you'd have something to hang on to. You could just pull it, you could do your back tack, secure it in place, and then snip that off. Does that make sense? That's probably, everybody's probably going, yes, Karen, that's what everybody does, love. It's you that needs to catch up with everybody else. I think I've just had a revelation, but it's probably something everybody else does already. So that was that and that. So when I went to my sewing social last Sunday, not Easter Sunday, the Sunday before, and the lovely Vicky, who was there again, my new best friend, blimey, that lass, she brought more fabric to put on the swaps table, and she also brought a couple of patterns, and she said, oh, I'm going to put these on the swaps table, do you want to have a look beforehand? And I literally was tempted to take the whole lot. And then I've just watched Alison, so like Dottie's vlog this morning, and I realised she got the other fabric that I didn't take. So I'm quite pleased I didn't take the lot, because I would have felt really greedy. But you could give it all to me. But that was one of the patterns that she gave me. Chalk and notch. I've never made a chalk and notch pattern before, don't think. Sure I haven't. It is beginner, so I like the sound of that. And it looks quite a nice t-shirt, and it's got this little peplum on the front, which, yes, I wasn't a fan of that in the Indigo, but I think if I was making just a t-shirt, I've got some plain fabric I could make that out of, and I think if it's quite floaty, which the fabric I'm thinking of, not this colour, mind you, I don't know if you've seen my earlier vlogs where I said I got 30 metres for £30 from pound a metre about a good year and a half ago now, definitely over a year ago, and bit of a jaggedy edge going on. I don't know what happened when they were cutting this, but never mind. This is one of the fabrics, and you got 3 metres of each colour. And this is slightly different. This is more of like a, it was just stretch fabric. It doesn't have a lot of stretch in it, this one. And it's like, almost like a sports material. Let's see, it's got holes in. The rest of them don't. The rest of them don't have that texture to them. But I dug this out to do a sew yellow for Endo that Jess from So What If I Sew was running last month. Never got a thing made, never got anything made out of it. So I did intend to make something from this, but I thought the other fabrics I've got in this, because although I think I quite suit the lemony colour, not sure about the yellow, bit bunny. So I was going to do something out of this. Don't know what I was going to make at all. Hadn't decided that far, and that's why it's there. But I just thought that t-shirt out of one of the other fabrics, because it's this really like, it's almost like a viscose. It's so thin and so floaty, but that would be nice. And also with the current situation with the weight, that would come down far enough to hide any lumps and bumps. So I think that'll be really, really nice. So I'm going to give that a go, hopefully soon. I'll not say next week, because next week's spoken for, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Also, after my last sewing social, so over like 2 months ago now, Vicky had sent me a link to a pattern on Etsy. When I said I was going to make I wanted a waterfall like gilet. So she sent me a link to this pattern that she'd seen on Etsy. And I mean, even that in the front, the cardie with the waterfall front. But I actually like this one in the background. I think that'll be lovely. Somebody did say that, I don't know if the waterfall will fall well in the boiled wool that I've got. They don't know if it was drapey enough. And it is drapey enough, probably not as flimsy as you need. I think that's a fine knit, it says, to make that out of. But I thought the boiled wool would look really lovely in that sort of jacket come waistcoat come whatever you want to call it. I think that's the one I'm going to go for. So I think it was this one that Vicky sent me the pattern for, and possibly this one, to say, oh, there's what you were looking for. But that really caught my eye. I really like that. And it means I could wear like a sort of a polo neck sort of jumper underneath. But now the weather's, well, it's supposed to be getting warmer, but everybody on the sewing community, vlogging world, especially those in the UK, is just saying the weather's abysmal. And yeah, today is another grey, abysmal day. I hope the lighting's okay, because yeah, we've had a couple of days actually where it's been really bright blue skies, and you think, oh, spring is on the way. But it does this every March and April. It does this. It gives you a day where you think spring's on the way, and then the next day it's just pants again. It's just absolute rubbish. So that might have to go away for a make for autumn, winter, because I just want to make summer stuff now. And I'm just hoping I might encourage the weather to change. The other pattern that I got from Vicky was, I'm just looking for the, from Pattern Scout, and it's the Pattern Scout Bridget tee, and there's all variations of this. So it's a square neckline, you've got short sleeves, you've got long sleeves. So, and this is the way she brought it in, and I think she said she sent me the link for the instructions, but I think the instructions might be in here as well. Yeah, I think they are. Yes, they definitely are. And that it's all the pattern. It needs sticking together. But I quite like doing that, so I'm not bothered about doing that. That's great. So that was very kind. So thank you, Vicky, again. Thank you very much. So kind of you. And another little bit of fabric she brought in as well. So there was the one, if you want to see the other bit of fabric that I said no to, because I felt I couldn't take everything. I would have loved it. That Alison Sew Like Dottie's just put a vlog up with her April plans, and I think she shows that at the beginning. But this was the other fabric that Vicky brought in. I have got plans to make I think I'll get a couple of little summer vest type tops or something out of that. But it's really lovely, really soft, viscose, probably viscose challis, I think. It's very, very drapey, and yeah, just a lovely pattern. I think, do you know, looking at it now and looking at it as from a distance, I might actually get a pair of Sophia trousers out of that for the summer, because it's not too bold a pattern, and I wore a paint splash ones last year, and I really need to make another couple of pairs for this year so that I'm not wearing the same trousers every day. Because you know, when it's just too hot for like even summer trousers, you just want to wear something floaty and cool. Well, the Sophia by Tilly and the Buttons, they're definitely the pants to make. And I said I wasn't going to buy any more fabric because I bought a load recently, and I might as well just shut up and stop promising I'm not going to buy any more fabric, because I still do. And I've bought some gorgeous fabric. I was watching Rachel, the lovely Rachel from Stitched Up, and she showed a, I think hers was a linen type fabric that she'd bought. It might have been a double gauze. She showed this beautiful fabric covered in flowers. And I just thought, she's done it again. She's shown a fabric. I've got to have that fabric. Went on, and I was just about to click on it, and I could see this other fabric coming up underneath that was very similar, slightly less flowery. And I just thought, oh, I like that as well. And then I couldn't decide between the two, but I've settled on this one. And I think the easiest way to show you this is I'll stick it over the top of the Vera. So this is a viscose linen. See if I can put it on Vera so that you get the full effect. There. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that just lovely? Yeah. I mean, it's got loads of colour in. It's got a bit of grey, greeny, olivey green. It's got yellow. It's got dark pink, light pink, like a lavendary blue colour. It's all on a white background. Like I say, it's a viscose linen, but it is beautiful quality. I think now I did put the invoice here so I could tell you. It was £8.75 a metre, and I got 3 meters. That's, you know, that's about as much as I like to pay for fabric. I've never yet seen a fabric that I thought, that is so fabulous, I will pay the £20 a metre. But that might change next week. That's coming up in a second. So yeah, gorgeous quality, but however, yeah, it's got a weird smell. I haven't overlocked the edges yet because I had this colour thread on my overlocker, and I was terrified that I don't know why it would, because it's never done it on anything I've used it on, but I was frightened that it sort of, the colour ran into the white and ruined the fabric. So I'm going to change my overlocker thread, get that overlocked and get it in the wash. So I'm hoping the pong will go because, yeah, really don't want to smell like that. I don't know why. Some fabrics, you get them and I don't know where they've stored them or whatever. This, oh, I don't know. Sort of smell of mouldy bread. Yeah, don't want to smell like mouldy bread, so I need to get it through the wash and see what shrinkage I get and see what it looks like. But isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. So that's my latest purchase. And yeah, very naughty of me, and as I keep saying, I'm not going to buy anything else, and I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that, but I do. So I should just stop promising that I'm not going to do it. But the really exciting news I've got to tell you, and the reason that there will not be a further vlog this week, although I've already missed a week and I'm really, really sorry for that, is that next week I am going, next Monday, I am flying down to my sister's who lives in High Wycombe, and I am going to stay with her for a week. We're going to see James Blunt in concert on the Wednesday night, and we're staying in a hotel in London. She's a while from London. You have to get the train in. You have to go and park the car, get the train and get the train in, which we'll do to get into the concert. But coming out the concert, it's going to be late at night. The last train's at a certain time. She'll know all this. But she said it's just going to be a real faff on to get out of the concert, get to the train, get to the tube, get to the train station and get all the way back to High Wycombe on the night time. So did we fancy staying in a hotel? So it was yes, of course we do. And I did say to her, well, one day I'd quite like to go to the Gold Hawk Road and see all fabric shops, and I really want to go to Rainbow Fabrics as well, which is in Kilburn Market. So I planted that idea, and she said, well, tell me where this is, tell me exactly the name of the street and the shops you want to visit and everything. And I said, well, it's all packed together, and I've been watching vlogs about which shops to go in and which ones are expensive, so I'll be avoiding them, and which ones are cheaper. And everybody says go with a plan, because if you go with it, oh, I'll just buy what I like and I'll get a pattern to go with it, you end up spending a fortune and getting all the stuff that I know for a fact I'll forget what I bought it for and what idea I had in my head at the time. So I'm going to go through my patterns this afternoon or sometime this week before I go next Monday, and I'm going to write down exactly what I want to make, and then hopefully when I come back a week on Monday, so I don't come back till the 15th, I'll be able to do a massive fabric haul for you. I'm going to go with a budget. Don't know what that is yet. I'm talking rubbish. Honestly, I'll just buy what I like. I know I will. But I'm going to go hopefully with a budget and a plan, and I'm going to make this, and this, and I'm going to buy the material or the fabric for those 3 patterns or 4 patterns, and then at least I know in my head that's what I've gone with, that's what I've bought the fabric for originally, and then no doubt I'll come home and completely change my mind. But I think that'll stop me going a bit mad. Also, what will stop me going a bit mad is because I'm staying for a week, I'm taking a case down, and I thought I could put as little as possible in so I could get as much fabric in the case coming back as possible. But we are just staying in that hotel the one night, and we've got to get back the next day, or we've got to go back to the hotel, drop off purchases, and I'm not sure what time we can get into the room in the hotel. And that's all very much up in the air, whether we're going to do the Wednesday before the concert on the Gold Hawk Road or the Thursday after the concert. But if it's a Thursday after the concert, we'll have our cases with us for staying that one night. So I thought I would take my carry-on case, which is a bit smaller obviously, but I'm not going to need too much in there anyway. It'll, you know, instead of an overnight bag, I'll take the overnight case. Then at least it's on wheels and I can stash as much fabric in there as I possibly can. So that's the idea I've got in my head, and we'll see how it goes. I'll try and do a bit of vlogging on Gold Hawk Road if I remember and my phone gets charged, etc, etc, and then I can show you where I went and where I bought what. But I'll leave it there for today because I've been talking for half an hour again. I cannot believe every time I do one of these vlogs I think, oh, it'll just be 10 minutes. And the first time I look at the clock, it's already over 10 minutes. Leave it there for today, and I will see you all after my trip to London, and hopefully with a fantastic haul of fabric to show you. Probably not much sewing because I'm going to be away, but take care. Hope you all managed to get some sewing in if that's your thing. And like I say, if you haven't subscribed and you watch me regularly, please subscribe. Please give me a like, give me a thumbs up. And if you've got any comments at all, anything you want to know, just stick them in the comments box below. I love to chat. Okay, take care now. Bye everybody. Bye.